Before we begin collecting data on student behaviors, it's important to purposefully identify and define behaviors targeted for behavior change. When identifying behaviors to target for data collection and behavior intervention, keep the so what test in mind. In other words, if the student themselves, a student's family member, or a fellow educator asks you why you want to address a particular behavior, could you explain how addressing the behavior would positively impact this student's academic achievement, social interaction with peers, progress towards IEP goals, and/or the safety of the student, their peers, and/or their educators within school settings? If you can readily provide a justification for addressing a student's behavior based on involving one or more of these criteria, there's a high probability that this behavior passes the so what test. In other words, the behavior is socially significant, as it will positively impact student access and opportunities within school settings. It's important to keep in mind that assessing social significance depends on unique characteristics related to the student, as well as social and cultural norms, values, and expectations. Consequently, it's important that identifying behaviors to target through data collection and behavior intervention is a collaborative process that includes educators, family members, the students themselves if appropriate, and any other members of the student support team. This way, we ensure the behaviors we target through data collection and behavior intervention are truly socially significant across settings our students encounter on a daily basis. Assessing social significance can be challenging, and with this in mind, included is a resource used by teachers and school district behavior specialists to support educators and family members with identifying behaviors to target through data collection and behavior intervention. This resource can help you with identifying socially significant behaviors to address in your future classrooms, whether collaboratively with your colleagues, your students' family members, and any other members of your student support teams. Once we've identified socially significant behaviors to target through data collection and behavior intervention, we must ensure we clearly and objectively define these behaviors. Clear and objective descriptions of target behaviors are important, as they allow the student support team members to collect data accurately and consistently. For example, let's say our target behavior is disrespectful language. Some team members may interpret this behavior as cursing, or language discriminatory in nature, whereas other team members may interpret this behavior as a student simply refusing to comply with teacher directives. Ambiguity with regards to what target behaviors such as disrespectful language look like in school settings can lead to inaccurate data collection, especially when multiple team members are collecting data on the target behavior. As accurate data is crucial to accurately assessing student behavior change after we implement behavior interventions, it's essential we clearly and objectively define behaviors targeted for change prior to collecting data on these behaviors. There are two tests we can use to ensure we clearly and objectively define behaviors targeted for intervention. The first test is the stranger test. In other words, would an educator unfamiliar with your student be able to walk into your classroom and accurately collect data on your student's behavior based solely on a written definition of the target behavior? If so, the definition of your behavior passes the stranger test. If not, we probably need to clarify the written definition of our target behavior through added specificity. For example, you can have a friend, a colleague, or even a significant other read definitions of your target behaviors you've written to see if they pass the stranger test. If they, likely not familiar with the student you're working with, could tell you exactly what it looked like when the student engaged in the target behavior, you'll know you have a clear and objective definition for our target behavior. If they have to ask questions about the behavior to better understand what the behavior looked like in school settings, or if their description of the behavior doesn't align with what the behavior looked like in school settings, you'll know you have more work to do to clearly define the behavior we're targeting through data collection and behavior intervention. The second test you can use to clearly and objectively define behaviors targeted for data collection and behavior intervention is the dead man test. In other words, if a dead person can engage in your target behavior, for example, not paying attention, not listening, or not following directions, your target behavior doesn't pass the dead man test, as it isn't actually a behavior. It's very difficult to consistently and accurately monitor what a student is not doing, for example, not paying attention, not listening, or not following directions. With this in mind, it is important that we define our target behaviors to focus on what our students are doing, rather than what they're not doing. For example, rather than defining elopement as not remaining in an assigned area, a student support team may instead define elopement as occurrences of a student leaving an assigned area without being accompanied by an educator or without educator permission. Keeping the dead man test in mind when defining target behaviors allows us to collect more accurate and precise data we can use to identify root causes of problem behaviors, implement behavior interventions designed to address these root causes of behavior, and monitor the effectiveness of these behavior interventions.